Good morning. Welcome back to Trailhead, Boise Entrepreneur Week, day 2 in full swing here. I'm Don Day, the founder and editor of BoiseDev.com. Proud to sponsor Boise Entrepreneur Week this year, and really excited to chat with Arian Lewis. He's the founder and CEO of Kiln, which is a new, I don't even know if co-working space sums it all up, but a new co-working space that's coming here to the Treasure Valley. Arian, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Tell me what you are planning for the Treasure Valley.
Well, first of all, let me just say Boise is exciting. We're really pumped to be coming into this market. This is a really cool ecosystem that's just kind of getting nationally recognized now. And Kiln is a young company. We're 3 years old, and we are a boutique, lifestyle-focused co-working company. So we have operations in Salt Lake, in Lehigh, in Park City, Boulder, Colorado, and we're really excited to be expanding up here to Boise, as well as other locations around the Mountain West and West.
So this will be your third state.
Our third state.
More expansion to come, it sounds like.
That's right.
And you're going to be in Meridian.
Yes, we'll be in Meridian.
Eagleview Landing. Tell us about the space that you're planning there.
Okay, so we're just off the freeway on Eagle and the freeway. And it's, first of all, it's a really cool development. We're there in partnership with BVA, which is one of the best developers here in the Valley. And there's going to be a variety of other amenities around us. So one of the coolest ones is Topgolf, which is coming in. So we'll be...
A story BoiseDev broke, I just have to say that.
What?
A story we broke on BoiseDev, of course.
Good on you.
Yep.
Good on you. So Topgolf, super cool. There's also a variety of really cool food amenities that are coming into that location. And there's so much activity going on out in Meridian right now that we just felt like that was the best place for us to start.
It's such an interesting site too, right? It used to be the Corn Maze. It's kind of that time of year. And now you're going to have ICCU is already out there, some other office uses, apartments, a hotel. I hear some big restaurants are coming in. You guys, Topgolf. I mean, it's going to be this little city within a city. What role does a co-working or a lifestyle-based co-working space play in something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're really there to help small teams and companies to be able to have access to what we would call like big company amenities. So we're building 50,000 square feet, and this square footage actually is really amenity rich. So we have everything from, of course, a lot of meeting room amenities, but we have beautiful theater. We're incorporating an atrium. We have workout pods. We have wellness rooms. We have podcasting rooms. We have a beautiful new music room that we're doing there. It's really world-class. It's what you would find in New York or London, and perhaps even better. And it's all designed, all of our design is actually done out of London. So my co-founder, Lee Radford, is our creative director, and he's been in the business for 12 years. I've been in it for 8 years. We did a prior brand together in London. And so we've taken all of the learnings from those brands, and we've applied them now to what we're doing here in Boise and Meridian. And we're really excited for some of the new products. So one of the things that's different about Kiln is that we actually design and manufacture over 20 different products. And these products form sort of the physical elements that our members interact with on a daily basis. And then on top of that, almost like that's hardware, we layer on our software, which is our programming. And a normal Kiln location will do 20 to 30 events a month. Everything from wellness-focused events like mindfulness and yoga, all the way to really technical events like talking about specific programming languages or giving best practice around marketing and sales. And so we have a huge variety of learning that can be, tapped into. And then the final thing is that the environment is really world-class, and it allows companies to, in a flexible way, utilize space as they kind of modify their needs, especially with hybrid work. And the very best thing that happens is they're able to recruit and retain talent much more effectively and at a lower cost because of the environment and the amenities that they offer to their employees.
It's an interesting space, right? I mean, in Boise, I think the first co-working space is the one we're in, right?
Yeah,
here,
super cool.
Here at Trailhead.
Love it.
And it serves, I think, a market segment. At BoiseDev, we've reported on a number There was obviously rumor for a while that WeWork would come into this market.
Uh-huh.
I think that's probably off a little bit with some of the challenges there, but
Yeah.
there's certainly this move in the future of work and changes in how we all work. Where do you see Kiln fitting in that ecosystem of all these different pieces that are moving
Yeah.
around so quickly right now?
So that's a great question. Just at a high level, if you look at the US market, less than 2% of the square footage in office. So if we took all the square footage in the office market, less than 2% is what we'd call flex office, meaning that it's on flexible terms. So and flex office is not a new concept. Regis has been around for almost half a decade, well, half a century. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say a long time.
And so the concept isn't new, but the experience and the experiential side of it is what's evolving. So WeWork, of course, is the most notable brand, but they're actually 70% of the U.S. market are mom and pop, and they're people that are really passionate about building an ecosystem in their local market. And so what's now happening is that large companies are trying to reduce. Large and small companies, they don't want to take on long-term liability. And so they're looking at flex office as a way to serve the needs of their employees, almost like creating a hub for their team rather than the place we work every day. And then they're using Kiln or other co-working brands in different markets as they kind of enter and exit those markets. So they might be in a location for 2 years, but they don't necessarily want to go in and sign a 5-year lease. The other thing that's happening is that when you use flex office, you don't pay the CapEx cost, the capital cost of building out an office.
No TIs, no tenant improvements,
No
those
TIs,
types of things.
no tenant
right.
improvements, no furniture. Your team doesn't turn into furniture makers and designers for a couple
The
of weeks.
old school Jeff Bezos desks with the doors kind of thing.
Exactly. And what that allows you to do is it's almost like it allows you to, first of all, it makes your team more productive. And the second thing is that it allows you to take advantage of all the learnings that have happened around how you organize workspace and create workspace. And the best comparison I have is you would never put your team on an old Lenovo laptop.
Right.
You'd want them to have the latest technology. And that is actually the case in Office as well. And so what you're seeing now is the move to Flex is not just around I need space, but I need space that enables better productivity from my team. And the final thing is I don't want to shell out a bunch of cash into something that I'm not sure if I'm going to need in 2 to 3 years.
How much space will you have? And I mean, I imagine there's different configurations. How many people do you see
Great question.
being accommodated here?
Okay, so we're building out 50,000 square feet.
That's a lot of office space.
It's a big office space that allows us to put in a lot of amenities that can all be shared. It's going to have offices that range from a 25-person office all the way down to a solopreneur. And the pricing is going to start in the 200s and go up from there. So for
On a monthly basis?
Yeah, on a monthly basis. So for as little as, in the 200 range, you can get a club membership, which gives you 24/7 access to Kiln. And then private offices usually start at $1,000 and up. And that gives you, a private office. A lot of our space is private office space, but we do have 2 levels that are also optional. Club, which is rock up with your backpack and have access to meeting rooms.
Non-dedicated desk, probably.
Right. And then a dedicated desk, which we call a resident desk.
Okay.
And that's where you can set up your screens and it's your own little home base. And actually, people tend to use them in a modular way. So sometimes they'll get, for part of their team, they'll have an office. And then for part of their team, they'll have club memberships, and maybe 1 or 2 members of their team will have a resident desk. And you can modify and, plug and play with it.
So I was looking at your website and having written about a bunch of these co-working spaces, I was curious because you have a lot of amenities that are built in. Tell us what the kind of the driving factors are there and what led you to that mix of offerings.
Yeah, so we find that people need different tools when they're working on different things. So I'll just give you an example. We have presentation space, which is for somebody to present something they've been working on. We also have rooms that are designed for conversations where you're kind of laid out in a semicircle. And that allows you to facilitate more of a dialogue and a discussion among your team, especially when you're trying to solve problems as a group. We have spaces that enable better creativity, like a makerspace or a podcast studio. And then we have things that are really just designed to deliver that function that you need, like a phone booth. And we're coming out with new video pods, which will actually help 4 people to have a really high quality Zoom meeting. Most of the time with another team that's virtual somewhere else.
So we're chatting with Arian Lewis. He's the founder and CEO of Kiln. And if you have questions, you can drop those in the Boise Entrepreneur Week Slack channel, live_Q_A. We've got a couple minutes left here. They put the prompter up right after I said it. I think I got it right. You've got a bike back here.
Okay, yes.
Tell us about this and what we're going to do.
All right. So we are passionate about bikes, but we are not a bike company. But we figured we'd bring a bike anyways. So this is the Kiln bike. We're going to be giving it away at the block party tonight at 7 o'clock. So hope that you come out and be a part of that little giveaway.
It's a pretty nice bike. And so the block party is interesting. Obviously, most of BEW this year is hybrid. But the block party, kind of hard to have a block party in a hybrid environment or in a virtual environment.
It's the real deal.
So it's going to be the real deal. It's going to be at Jack's Urban Meeting Place here by the Simplot World headquarters in downtown Boise. Starts at 7 o'clock, goes till 10. They've got a couple of bands. I think there's ice cream and all sorts of stuff. I believe masks are required, so make sure you've got your mask on you. And outside, have you been to Jump yet?
Yeah.
Huge space. So lots of space there, and I know a lot of people will be out there. So Arian will be giving away this bike at the block party, and I hope people can check that out this evening. We've got a couple of minutes left here. You've got an interesting background. I wanted to ask you kind of a multi-layered question. So you're a BYU grad, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Oxford.
Yeah.
So when you took your prior experience and said, I want to do this again, I mean, I could guess maybe why you picked Utah and the Intermountain West with some experience here, but what really attracted you? Obviously, you were going to make the best business decision. So why did you do that here?
Well, so just by way of background, myself and Lee Radford, my co-founder, we built a prior brand called Rise with Barclays, which was headquartered out of London. But we built locations in London, New York, Tel Aviv, Cape Town, South Africa, Mumbai, Vilnius, Lithuania, Manchester, England. So it was a global brand. And after doing that for 5 years, we didn't own the brand. It was owned by Barclays. We felt like we understood, let's just say, tier 2 markets or tier 3 markets. And we saw a big trend of people moving to lifestyle markets.
Like this one.
Like this one. They want access to the outdoors. They want good quality of life and lower cost of living. But they also are going to be developing world-class companies and tech. And so we felt like we wanted to meet them at that intersection. So we're at the intersection of lifestyle and tech. And if you look at the markets that we're in, like Boulder, Colorado, Park City, Utah, Boise, and Meridian, we feel like these markets are where tech is moving to. And so we're trying to skate to where the puck is going to be.
The Gretzky quote.
That's right.
Where do you see this market in a few years? Do you see multiple locations here?
Yes.
How does that look?
Yeah, I mean, we see several locations in this market. We believe that over 30% of the office space in any market will eventually become flex. And so the opportunity is exciting here. And this is really just our first step to get to know the market and to understand how we can best serve this market.
Is that something you'll do with BVA? Do you see kind of going forth across the market? Will there be other partners potentially?
Potentially, but we have a great partnership with BVA.
Yeah, interesting. What's the timeline here? I know that construction is tricky in this valley and elsewhere.
Yeah, so
we would love to be open today, right now.
So the site is being framed right now, and drywall is starting here shortly. So it is real. It's very, very much happening. We'll be opening this spring, hopefully early this spring. We'll announce the date soon.
So we'll go through our cold winter here.
If you're interested, go to kiln.co. So kiln.co.
Yep.
And just register your interest for this location, and we'll reach out to you and put you on a list. We'll share information with you. You may be able to get some of the first pick of the offices when they come available. So we'd welcome you to reach out right away and let us know that you're interested.
I mean, right on Eagle Road, obviously, a lot is happening out there, easily accessible. Arian Lewis with Kiln, I appreciate you joining us here for Boise Entrepreneur Week. This is a quick conversation. That was a fast 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Coming up right now, in fact, we've got Jonathan Petrino. He's going to sit down with Moshit, who's the owner of Janju Patisserie. But first, we got a couple words from our amazing Boise Entrepreneur Week sponsors.